You're watching the Roblox Battlebot Championship Series final bracket on the ZuggyJ YouTube channel, where today we have a matchup between the new look Flaming Hot Grebe and Inferno as we take a look at the bot profile presented by the Plain Crazy Tech Challenge. It is a 4 Smeezus lifter egg beater going up against a 4-wheeled egg beater. Inferno with some new improvements, we'll talk about that later as well, but the players, look at that experience difference. Sizzle way more experienced on the Plain Crazy side of things. He's been winning all the small stuff across the community over the last few months. But Waddler, one of the best to ever do it on the Build-A-Boat side of things. He's known for coming up as a runner-up in those tournaments, but man, if you consistently come in second in high-level combat, that means you're one of the best drivers out there. And we saw it last round against Providence. Waddler is no joke. He's a good driver, able to outdrive Conman in that one. And can he keep it up today against Inferno? Both these bots having some new adjustments made to them coming into this fight. You'll notice that on Inferno, not going with a large fork design, also going with custom wheels and a new look weapon. Completely revamping the bot, because coming into this one, this is one of the first times we've seen Sizzle have to make major changes to Inferno to try to guarantee a victory. And it's working right now as he's getting Flaming Hot Grebe up against the arena hazard, but a good evasion hit gets to the underside, and there goes part of a wheel, and I think that is off of Inferno, as while they're doing a good job getting Grebe to the backside again, getting some shots in with that lifter egg beater. And we got to talk about some of the changes on Grebe. It's not anything major, nothing mechanically different, but going with that new color scheme today to honor the fallen Skibbity Slicer. Speaking of bots that are falling, Inferno not in a good spot, weapon broken off, now in the corner, unable to move, and he is going to reset his character. That's going to be a knockout. What a shot from Flaming Hot Grebe. Takes game one via knockout, and that is how you start a series right there. What a big hit, and Flaming Hot Grebe living up to the moment. Well, this is a best-of-5 series, but being down 1-0 is not a spot that Sizzle wants to be in, nor is a spot that he is used to being in. As even going back to last round, and really throughout his entire career, his bots have done a great job of overpowering his opponents and getting those knockouts that you just saw Flaming Hot Grebe get on Inferno. So for him, it's just getting back into his element, getting confident again, but it's hard to do when your weapon gets snapped off in game one. And as for Waddler, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, look at the knockback he's getting. That evasion hitting is something that really is coming naturally to all of the Build-A-Boat members. It's something you have to do in that game since you can't do damage. You're seeing him use it really, really well here, but Sizzle not a bad driver himself. His bots have always been good, but he is also one of the top dogs for a reason. As an opportunity here for him to charge in, clips inside of the bot, and you're seeing blocks flying everywhere. Nothing major seems to be broken quite yet, but you're seeing the weapon starting to get worn down on Grebe. Sizzle is doing what he needs to do here in game number 2, and he's always been a guy that can make those adjustments too. He's not just one-dimensional. You have some of those drivers that are considered great, but are just overly aggressive. Sizzle knows how to dial it back, but right now going for the kill in game 2 as he gets stuck in the roof, and we will get a pause. And we are back, so unfortunately for Sizzle, that's a momentum killer, but, you know, Inferno, it gets stuck in the roof. There's so many parts missing on that bot at this point, as the weapon's kind of down to a toothbrush. It's easy to clip inside of things. Question's going to be, with the final minute 40, whose bot weapon is going to hang on the longest? Who is going to keep those cutters still on the bot, because there's not a lot of weapon left on each side. This could come down to pushing and shoving, as there's a nice shot, and I think that was on Inferno, so I think that weapon not looking too good. Only a few pieces left on it, and are there any cutters left? As Grebe able to get to the backside again, still on the backside. Sizzle needs to get that driving figured out, as Waddler's taking advantage of him here. Don't know why he's showing those wheels, and I don't love that, but for Waddler and all the Grebe fans at home, you gotta love what you're seeing here. Able to outdrive Sizzle so far, and the bot is holding up against one of the best bots in the scene currently. Getting to the backside again with 56 seconds remaining, and I think we might have ourselves a pushing and shoving match on our hands, as neither of these bots able to really do anything here. So we got a question who's going to win control on this one? Weapon effectiveness might be... I think that has to go to Wilder. The Grebe is still able to drive, still has full mobility, where you're seeing Inferno crab walking, but aggression, probably going to Inferno. Bot was really aggressive early in the fight, constantly getting at Grebe, getting in there, getting those points, and then control, that is going to be the one that the judges are going to have to rewatch this footage afterwards and say, who was the most controlling? And right now, I'd have to give it to Grebe. I mean, look at what he's doing, getting to the backside of Inferno, making life miserable for Sizzle. And I just don't get the whole showing the wheel here. You got to get that weapon turned around and try to get some points as the countdown comes in. 4 seconds remaining.
3,
and this judge's decision,
2,
it's going to be close.
1,
I think Flaming Hot Grebe should take it, but we'll have to send this one to the judges. It's going to be tight. We'll see who wins game 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have made their final call, and the winner of game 2 of the series is Flaming Hot Grebe.
Well, that's probably what we expected, but winning that control, weapon effectiveness, he's up 2-0 on Sizzle. This could be one of the biggest upsets in the history of the sport, and we have a game 3 coming your way right after this. Well, the stage is set for Game 3 here.
2,
Tournament hopes
1.
on the line for Sizzle and Inferno. He loses this one, he is out of the tournament, and Grebe would move on to face Cherno in the semifinals. And I imagine in this one, Sizzle's going to have to play a lot more carefully, just kind of navigating Inferno around the arena a bit better and realizing that, hey, maybe I don't have the better bot, which is very rare for him in his career to not have the better bot. So going with those evasion hitting strategies, which you're seeing right here, trying to pace and space his opponent out and trying to get Wilder off balance as they clip inside of each other here. And damage-wise, it looks about equal. Always hard to tell, though, when you have, these bots almost at full strength. You can't quite tell what's being destroyed, especially when they're clipping inside of each other. Could be bots on the blocks on the internals of the bot that are getting destroyed and those hits. But relatively even so far. Neither side taking a hold of this matchup as we have a minute passing so far. And it's been a very, very passive. Reminds you of the Providence versus Grebe fight where Providence just kind of tried to evasion hit the whole time. And that kind of plays into what Wilder wants to do.
Pause.
As Grebe gets stuck in the top of the arena. We're going to get ourselves a pause here. So a weird pause. Kind of have to call it when they get stuck like that. But that does kind of slow down the action when a bot gets stuck and then immediately falls back down. They have to call a pause as they clip inside of each other again. And there goes part of the drive off of Grebe. Inferno able to get in there and finally do some substantial damage. There goes the weapon too. And Sizzle starting to figure things out in game number 3 as the bot is just getting mauled. Flaming Hot Grebe has been reduced to almost nothing.
10,
and the referee's coming
9,
in here. No
8,
controlled movement.
7,
Gonna have to see if that
6,
self-rider can
5,
get him back on his wheels.
4,
If that
3,
countdown hits 0, he's
2,
going to lose this game. We might be
1,
seeing a game
TKO.
4, and we are going to see a game 4. A great performance from Inferno, and that is how you get the momentum back on your side, moving in to win or go home situations. Well, we are back and ready for game number 4.
3.
See, this is something
2,
you've seen a lot
1.
this season where a bot gets down to their last life. They have to win. They resort to that evasion hitting and these, some people would say scummy strategies, but it's something you have to do if you're going to be at the top of this game and this style of combat. And you've seen that. You saw Skibbity Slicer do it against White Spike. You've seen a lot of bots try it when they get down and out and they need a win. But now that he's shown his hand, what is he going to do from here? What other adjustments is he going to make? Because Wilder's going to be able to counter as Grebe gets in there on the backside of Inferno. This could be bad here as they're not going to call a pause. Technically not stuck in the arena, just the forks underneath. And Wilder maybe could have had a free shot, but opts not to take it. And we meet back in the middle of the arena as Inferno rebounds off the wall, able to get a nice hit in there. Definitely didn't mean to do that, but that was a very cool exchange getting flung into the wall, bouncing straight off of it, and getting right back into the action. As we slow things down here, back to evasion hitting. Inferno goes skyward, and Grebe going to try to be aggressive here, moving on the attack. As now he's on the backside, getting after those wheels. Got a few pieces there. Starting to see some chunks fly off, and now that weapon's starting to look a little worse for wear as Grebe is just out overpowering here. The bot just does more damage than Inferno, which is something you don't see very often. Not many bots can, claim they do more than Inferno does in the arena, but you're seeing it right here. He is doing an awesome job commanding his bot. As where goes the weapon? Glaggy hit, and oh no, Sizzle! It might be all over here as he is just accepting his fate in the middle of the arena. Grebe on the backside getting after those wheels as I think Sizzle decides he wants to keep going. I guess the referees could have started the countdown, but the bot is still capable of moving as more wheels go flying. And man, Grebe, what a bot. I mean, this bot came out of nowhere, was really drafted for how cool it looked, and right now it has a chance to move on to the semifinals of RBCS Season 6. What a cool story. And today we might be seeing a 13 seed take down the 4 seed. Both these guys, the last remaining members of their team. Sizzling Robotics is going to be done after today, barring a miracle on the Roundtable clan. While they're probably not going to win the tournament, they will stay alive in the memory of Man, as of course he announced his retirement earlier this year. But the BFT guys, I mean, you got to think right now, you have SpongeBob doing an awesome job taking down Cosmic Crab. As I don't know if Inferno can move.
Knockout.
They're going to call a knockout. Flaming Hot Grebe, huge upset here in round number 2. Takes the game, takes the series in dominating fashion. 2 KOs on Inferno. What a performance from Waddler here today. As we are going to look at the bracket presented by the Cardboard Bug and by Challonge. Semifinal matchup number 1 is all set up. Cherno versus Flaming Hot Grebe. That one's going to be an ultimate showdown between those 2 big damage dealers. And here are the team standings. As after that one, Sizzling Robotics has been eliminated. Roundtable Clan climbs up to 24 points. As when we come back, we're going to have to sit down with the one and only Waddler the Duck. We'll have an interview with him, and then we'll wrap things up on today's broadcast. And we are back from the ads. Waddler, congratulations on that victory today. This was a really anticipated fight across the whole community. You come out victorious, and what are you feeling right now?
Well, feeling very good that I won this fight because Inferno is obviously one of the strongest bots that's in this. But I also knew that he was scared of me, so there was a slight amount of being able to weaponize that in a way, knowing that he'd be driving a little bit more cautiously against me. But things turned out well, my strategies played off, and I enjoyed my fight here. It was very aggressive, which, unlike my last fight, which just wasn't.
So this is the first fight this year that you were able to win, but also your opponent also won a game. When he won Game 3 and switched up that driving strategy on you, what adjustment did you have to make in Game 4 to come out with that win?
Well, what I had to do is I had to play it a bit more evasively as he was going for defense, and I could tell that he can't really read my evasive shots as well, and considering he's removed the forks, he is much more susceptible to fling. So I took advantage of that to get him in the air, and I went for those uppercuts on him, which ended up paying off in the end.
And now you're moving on to the semifinals of RBCS. You know, your name's going to be up on the bracket inside the arena. You're going to be probably one of the most watched fights of the year. You're only a rookie, man. What is this like for you, and what has the experience been like for you in RBCS so far?
Well, RBCS, I've really liked the league. The seriousness is much different to my home league, and it's nice in a way. And I'm quite scared for this next fight because I think I know who I'm up against, and
Yeah, you are going to be facing Cherno in this next one. Tournament favorite. It's going to be a really tough one for you, but I think your bot matches up pretty solidly to go over the top of him. What do you think of that matchup?
What I think is that Cherno, obviously very powerful bot, but I think I have quite a good chance here because of my fight against Dual Threat and Conman's League, where I managed to get that win. So hopefully I'll be able to adapt to how he plays and end up getting the hits that I need. I'm a little bit scared of the Great Barrier though, not going to lie.
Well, thank you to Wilder for all the time he gave us here today, and thank you to Sizzle and Wilder for this awesome fight. A lot of big action, a lot of knockouts. 3-1 the final score in this one. Unfortunately, Sizzle's not going to get his first major win this season, but he might be able to do it in another league. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and see you guys in the next one.